Hello, I'm Refashionista Sherry, and today we are going to do something with this oversized orange men's sweater that I have had in my stash for way too long. You know, I wore it just kind of schlubbing around, but yeah, it's definitely time to do something with this. And of course, it is lovely in orange, which goes with the hopefully coming soon cooler fall weather. And I was going through my stash thinking, what can I kind of combine with this? And I found this top of a curtain that I have had for way too long in my stash as well. So let's go see if we can combine this with this and transform it into something kind of cool for fall. Let's go do it. Okay, so first I have pulled the sweater down kind of as far as it will comfortably go. Then I'm gonna grab my top of the curtain and position it where I think it would kind of look the best as the insert, which I think is like across my belly area here. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Then I have a pin and I'm just gonna mark, ta-da, and now I can go chop it to size. So now I have to create my insert fabric from the chopped curtain top. Oh, that's another tongue twister, chopped curtain top. Anyway, so what I've done is I've taken the bottom chopped part of the sweater because it is slightly wider, and I've just placed my curtain top on top of it, and I'm just going to kind of fold it to the size it needs to be, like so, plus a little bit of extra seam allowance here, and then go stitch this into kind of a tube shape. So you can see here is my seam where I stitch this together, chopped off the excess, and I'm going to put this in the back. So I have placed it with the right sides facing over top of the bottom part of my sweater, and now I'm just going to really carefully go stitch it all together, trying not to stretch the sweater too much. And also I'm going to try to follow this big seam as close as I can. Okay, this came out so much better than I thought it was going to, especially because I did end up having to do a little gather here in the back, as the sweater, of course, did stretch as I was stitching. Even though I was using the zigzag, my favorite zigzag, it's still stretched, but that's okay because it came out so good. And yeah, if this refashion doesn't work out, I can just transform this into a really cool bag. But let's see first if this is gonna work out. All right, so next step, I flipped the top of the chopped sweater inside out, and I have put the bottom half into the chopped sweater half with the right sides facing. And because the top, of course, was slightly smaller than the bottom of the sweater, everything seems to line up perfectly. So now I'm going to go stitch all of this together, and then we'll see if we're going to do anything else to it. It absolutely worked, and I cannot wait to try this on. But first I want to do something with these boring sleeves. So first I'm going to chop the sleeves off, and then I'm going to put them back on in a different way. Okay, so the sleeves are off, and as you can see, I chopped really close to this big, nice, bulky seam, but I did leave that seam intact. So I think I really want to have shorter sleeves, so I kind of measured on my own arm here and marked at just above my elbow. So now I'm just going to chop them to size, and I'm just going to pop the sleeve back into the armhole with the right sides facing. And the easiest way to line these up, seriously, is you see this seam here on the bottom, line it up with the underarm seam, and you're laughing. Now, clearly, this armhole is a lot bigger than this chopped sleeve now. So all I'm going to do as I'm stitching is really stretch this so it matches up. Okay, my sleeves are on and they look a little bit odd, so let's go try it on and style it up and have our fingers and toes crossed. So I think for an experiment, this came out surprisingly well. I mean, it's definitely not perfect, but it is super duper comfortable, and the fabrics are definitely not kind of going together as nicely as I would have wanted them to, but it's still pretty darn adorable, and it looks magnificent with my fab floral tights that I've had for years now. So I'm chalking it up to, you know, a refashionista experiment that turned out pretty okay this time. Let me know down below what you think I could do to kind of maybe zhuzh this up or make it a little bit better. I was thinking, do you think if I zigzagged around, like top stitched with a zigzag around here, it might lay a bit flatter and nicer? I'm not sure. You let me know what you think the best thing to do is, or I just am going to crop this and then it's going to be like a short sleeve crop sweater. And then, like I said, I transform this part, the bottom part, into a nice slouchy kind of hobo bag. I don't know. Let me know. Those are two ideas I had as I was trying to style this and everything. As always, there is of course another fantastic tutorial coming right at you tomorrow in my 30 days of refashions. Plus, you know, again, pop on over to refashionistasherry.com, check out my ebooks and my e-courses, and what else? Oh yeah, that super chat, super thanks is down there, so you can support me even more than liking, sharing, commenting, which, as I've mentioned before, really, really does help my tiny little channel here grow, because it tells the algorithm, hey, people like this, it's worth pushing out to more people. So please be sure to take that half a second and just hit the like button, or take a couple seconds and leave me a comment and let me know what the heck should I do with this? Leave it as is, crop the top and make a bag, or some other magnificent idea you may have. And until tomorrow, stay safe, stay well, and I'll catch ya on the zigzag. Please tell me, what the heck should I do? What should I do with this?
This is Confessions of a Refashionista.